so back, baby. It's Chip and Tony with Lincoln 2.0.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about it and to show the people what they've been missing, Tony.
Which reminds me, let's get right into it with server improvements.
All right, we're going to start off with we got some vehicle improvements. Everyone knows we've got some of the best, most unique number of vehicles across the entire FiveM world, Tony. Let me tell you something. A lot of people have been taking it for granted. So what we're going to do is we're going to absolutely rotate vehicles on an absolute daily basis. We stole this straight from Fortnite with their skins, and we're putting it to cars, Tony.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Chip. I like that you said absolute twice. Nevertheless, there's now only going to be a select number of vehicles. If you see a car that you like, better get it before it's gone, because it may never come back into the store. You already know we've got 5, maybe 600 unique vehicles. The time to get your favorite is now.
Believe it or not, Tony, some of these vehicles will be even more rare than they already were. I can't wait. Our daily vehicle rotation will feature 15 rotating vehicles. It does not matter about the price. We have put slight mathematical rarities on the vehicles for them to appear in the store, but even some of the higher percentage vehicles are only going to be one of ones, Tony.
All right, Chip, you've been talking to me a lot about the game build. Did we change anything with the game build?
Yeah, we certainly did, Tony. We updated the game build 2 more steps closer to the current GTA 5 online game build, Tony. This should be much more stable. The clothing should not have any more blanks and should be back to back to back, so you can search clothing way better and way easier than ever before.
Oh my gosh, Chip, I love the sound of all of the improvements. Tell me more, tell me more. What about the server hosting?
Well, it's pretty clear that the new server host that I transferred to, it's just not up to snuff, Tony. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the old company because that server was Primo. It may cost a little more, but Primo is what we give the people because that is what they demand, Tony.
We love a Primo server, Chip. Primo, 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 Primo.
You said Primo a lot of times there, and I don't know why, Tony.
Lincoln 2.0 brings in an entirely new custom heist system that's launchable from our existing tablet. Live in the studio is Chip to tell us more about the new heist system.
Thank you, Tony. We have a brand new heist system. One thing that we've heard and one thing that we are absolutely going to solve is game confusion. This exists because some of our heists are pretty difficult to figure out. Some of that we don't really need to have. We've built a heist system similar to kind of the GTA Online system where it's going to direct you through each step of the heist. The key here is that there is an entire XP heist ecosystem that you have to gain in order to hit certain heists. Every single thing about each heist is available to know and to figure out right through that tablet. It's available, it's unlocked. Only thing you need to do is worry about getting and receiving XP, Tony. There's not only one way to do it though, Tony. You do not have to only get XP if police are on. We've actually developed a system where you can get XP when there are no police. We are calling it the Lincoln Gauntlet system, Tony. This is going to put your character into its own instance, and it's going to run a random set of missions for you to get through in order for you to start developing a small amount of XP so you can be prepared when the police are available in the evenings to actually hit some heists that you absolutely will be walked straight through step by step within the UI so you can complete the heist, Tony. How about that?
How about that, Chip? That's unbelievable. I can't wait to get in and start heisting and looting and shooting and RPing.
We got a crazy amount of businesses here, Tony. 11 purchasable businesses are now available to use.
Chip, tell me everything. 11 businesses? That's incredible. What are they?
All right, Tony, we are tired of the same old restaurant, mech shop. I want to run this restaurant. I want to run this mech shop business. Roleplay is better than that, Tony. So we're pushing the creativity while giving the player ownership, which is the exact thing that people have asked for, Tony. Some of these have fully 100% Lincoln-coded scripts to enhance your experience and give you the actual creativity that you've been looking for on certain levels of roleplay, both in the civilian world, the Department of Justice world, and the criminal world, Tony. Understand the value of having a business and running it how you choose. We want to expand your roleplay here in the LRP.
Holy cow, Chip, I can't wait to get started on owning my own business. People are gonna love this.
Tony, I see you actually as a taxi driver. That's gonna be one highlight of the businesses here. 100% coded taxi meter system. Once you have that taxi job, that meter's gonna pop up. You're gonna start that meter, you're gonna drive, and then you're gonna invoice the customer. The other cool thing is once you own that company, you can actually set the taxi rate for each specific vehicle that you may purchase throughout your time as the ownership of the taxi company.
That's absolutely right, Chip. We want each and every player to understand the value of having a business and running it the way they choose. It's their experience.
As you already know, we love saying the word no, but sometimes we just need to open the gates. This is our way of giving exactly what you have been asking for in our own spin because we want to push the boundaries of your creativity within roleplay. If you think you can be a lawyer, great. You now get your own building, your own office, your own set of skills, your ability to have meetings, and prep for cases in an actual roleplay situation instead of having to meet 5 minutes before court. How about that, Tony? You are the lawyer. How does that sound?
That sounds incredible as a previous lawyer, Chip, but I'll tell you what else is incredible. I love pushing boundaries. I pushed an old lady named Boundary down 5 flights of stairs the other day.
Tony, with you being a previous attorney, that's probably not something you want to admit to because you just committed a crime.
Woo-wee! I'm going to jail!
Jail? Speaking of jail, we have a brand new prison system. No more only making license plates or only cutting wood or only doing the predisposed prison jobs, Tony. We have an entire campaign prison system that will, at the end, activate the craziest prison break you have ever seen, Tony. This is designed to take over 100 hours to complete of actual prison time. How about that ability for longevity for your prison sentences, Tony?
I can't wait, Chip. After I push that old lady down 5 flights of stairs, I know I'll have time to serve. Woo-wee!
We can't have you be murderer, Tony, but once you actually commit that crime and once you actually get sentenced to that time, it's not based on discovery. Go to an NPC, get your task, and then get going on trying to get out of prison.
I think they're gonna get me for murder, Chip.
There's stealing. There's shanking. There's entering parts of the prison that you shouldn't be in. There's smuggling items into prison. And guess what, Tony? There's a brand new, only specialized design drug for prison, Tony. The only place you can get it is inside the prison itself. How about them apples?
I'll tell you what, Chip, there's 2 things I really like. That's being inside and custom drugs.
We got custom drugs that will actually give you a special effect of a 50% stamina boost for over 60 seconds as soon as you take our prison drug. And guess what that drug is called, Tony? We completely thefted it from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's called Giggle Pig.
I can't wait to stuff Giggle Pig up my ass and sneak out of prison with it.
Well, I don't know if you have to stick it up that way. I guess if you choose to use your prison pocket, there is a prison pocket.
Hoo-wee, Chip, this all sounds so incredible.
You know what sounds incredible, Tony? Is that we are here to enhance real roleplay versus criminal roleplay, Tony. We have heard the news and we have heard what you're saying. This city can not only be about crime versus cop. How about that? We're fixing it.
We're fixing it! I've never been more excited about anything in my life!
Let's take a look at the brand new Pearls Resort and casino down on the Del Perro Pier, Tony. Look at this beautiful Mexican-style resort that has swimming pools, it has housing, it has dancing, there's boat docks, there's jet ski rentals, there's even the restaurant, and the casino is in the basement. How about them?
Everything that I like in one place. How did you even do it?
I don't know. I just kind of figured it out, and that's what happens sometimes, you know?
Whoa, Chip. All of this is so incredible, but why a beach theme?
We want a place for players to enjoy their civilian life at any point in time without having to constantly think about crime, because roleplay is more than just crime, Tony. So we are solving the civilian roleplay once and for all. There's too many things to do, too many people to have fun with. How about that? You don't have to do crime every day to keep the city going. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit with the police department. But let's talk about this resort housing. We're doing something special, Tony. Have you ever played the lottery?
I sure haven't. I have horrible luck.
Well, Tony, you never know, because we're running a lottery system. If you can own one of the 13 available houses at the resort for absolutely free.
Whoa! Chip, I hope I win. What do I have to do to enter?
Well, we're going to have an open lottery on the first week of release that you could sign up for if you want to live in one of these houses for absolutely free. Lifetime freedom. How about that?
That sounds truly incredible, Chip. I'm a wreck.
Let's talk about some other things. We've got the resort. Guess what is next to the resort, Tony? We have Del Perro Pier, and our main mech shop is actually on the pier. You are walking through it right now, Tony. How about that?
Whoa! Whoa, here we are walking through this beautiful new mech shop.
The mech shop is here to serve the customers of Los Santos. SRT is no longer there, and the mech shop at the pier will be our main mech shop. Bayside isn't going anywhere, and we may add one more, but the pier is here to stay. Not only that, is our impound building is down by the pier. There is a bank by the pier. There is an actually PD annex by the pier. There's clothing. There's a coffee shop. There's everything you need is at the pier and resort. How about that?
Whoa, Chip, really sounds like everything I need you got over at that pier for me.
But that's not all, Tony. Close to the pier and just down the road, we have our used car dealership. Some of you have experienced that already. Tony Dice
Incredible.
is a used car salesman, so never believe what he says. Just past that, we have the Vespucci dealership. That is our new dealership for the cars. We have the daily rotation will be there, the PD dealership, the ambulance dealership, the motorcycle dealership will be in a separate location, but most of our vehicles will be down by the Vespucci vehicle dealership. How about that? Look at those windows, Tony. That's just beautiful.
Incredible.
Next, we have our toy store. People have been asking, how do we get more stuff to keep us engaged? The toy store is here, and it's here to stay. Not only do we have toys, action figures, we have Pokemon cards, we have all the things that you could think of collectively. We have Labubus, females. We have Labubus for you. We have over 300 placeable objects inside the toy store for you to collect. There's going to be some rarity. It's all built within the math. Someone, one of you lucky individuals, will be able to own the toy store. Understand, you don't choose what you buy. You're going to buy in stacks. So if you order a thing of Funkos, it's going to come in a randomized box of 6. You don't know what you're getting. Nobody else knows what you're getting. So when you send a tweet out that says, I have one of the most rare Funkos for sale here today at the toy store, the rush will absolutely come. It's all built in mathematically within the system. There's no favoritism. It's a perfect system, Tony.
We love a perfect system, Chip. Holy cow. This toy store and these placeable objects sound unbelievable. But let me ask you this. What are you doing with that racetrack over there, Chip? I've had my eye on it.
We have a full F1 track system. Events will happen at least every 2 weeks, if not every week. You can buy a team. You actually receive an F1 car. car, you receive a free livery. You receive a livery for your trailer. You receive a semi. You receive an entire packet of vehicles and systems for the F1 events. These main events will be highly, highly paid and rewarded. They're there to have fun. Guess what else we have developed, Tony? We have developed an entire pit crew system where you pull off to the side. You have to unscrew each tire. You have to get a new tire and you have to put it back on and you have to re-screw that tire. When you are in an F1 car, you are actually going to see an entire HUD on the side that says the percentage of what your tire traction is. Once that hits below 20%, Tony, we have no clue if this tire is going to blow up or if this tire is going to stay straight. So we're going to have to get to that pit stop as fast as we can, Tony.
Holy cow, Chip, man, wow, what an incredible update you put together for us this time around. We sure can't wait to get out on that F1 track, be collecting toys and rare cars, and hanging out at the resort. What an entirely new, crazy design!
We are here and we are building this to enhance the real roleplay, Tony.
Let's cut to the newsroom live to touch base with Chip Gaines about the updated inventory system.
Thank you, Tony. We're here in the studio. We're going to talk about this new inventory. As you can see, the blue UI is now across the board in the entire system of our Lincoln Roleplay server. All the UIs will have this same color. So, other things about the inventory, Tony. You can select multiple items. That is super important and super clutch for ease and speed of use from item to item. Next thing, you can actually see the inventory together if you're both in the same trunk or stash with another player. That inventory will actually update live, so if one player drags something out, that other player will actually see that in the trunk, so no more duplication there is needed. Tony, how about that?
That's some incredible news, Chip. We absolutely love that. Well, all of this really seems like such a wonderful update, Chip. But let me ask you, what truly are you looking to solve? How do we keep players playing the game longer? How do we increase the longevity of playtime?
We did a ton of research on this, Tony. It's been an extremely difficult question. We typically have a 3-month spurt of high pop and then a section of the population has always fallen off. So we approached this new update to absolutely solve this 3-month drop-off, Tony. And what we have done is that we have researched all successful game developers. And the conclusion was, if you build the game you want for what you think is 10 years of playability, you typically get about 2 years of full playability and full population, Tony. So we have built this entire system for a 10-year period in our heads. That should get us about 2 years of no boredom, long-term playability, understanding the game, and not being confused. How about that, Tony?
Chip, that truly sounds divine. Chip, I know you've been cooking in the kitchen. What do you have for our unbelievable police officers?
Tony, this is one of the biggest updates we have. What we have figured out is that 5M specific statistics show if you have police count, typically about 6 to 10 every single night, then your player account will absolutely explode, Tony. It's too undeniable to not fix this problem, and I believe that this problem has been fixed, Tony. If no crime is happening, if no response is happening, if no speeders are around, guess what, Tony? The police will still have things to do because of our entire 100% created computer system within the police department, Tony. This will manage the entire police budget across everything that they do, Tony. They have to buy handcuffs. They have to buy bandages. They have to buy cars. Everything is worked within the entire ecosystem of everything that they do, Tony. Upgrades, armory, ammo. All of this stuff will be budgeted from month to month and week to week, and multiple players will be in charge of budgeting their specific division in order to not run out of things on a week-to-week basis, Tony. All of it is fully automated within our shops, our brand new shop system. It's fully automated within our garage system, and it's fully fully automated within our dealership system to all work together in tandem within this entire police budget system.
That's absolutely incredible, Chip. Talk to me about what you've been working on for the government.
Not only do we have the PD budget script, we have an entire government bar. As you can see within the businesses, no bars were available for purchase. That's because our off-duty police officers, our off-duty judges, our off-duty lawyers, our off-duty EMS team will be able to all work in tandem at the government bar, Tony. They're not only going to serve drinks, they will serve snacks, they will serve all the things which will actually work itself within the police department budget and serve the city of Los Santos. How about that, Tony?
Absolutely incredible. Are you telling me that the profits from the government bar go back into the budget?
They absolutely do, Tony, and that's the key with the budget. You absolutely have to do your job as a police officer or you're going to run out of money. And guess what, Tony? Think of all the role play ability that happens if the police runs out of money with 4 days left in the month, Tony. They can't buy guns. They can't buy handcuffs. They can't buy bandages. Guess what happens, Tony? Crime explodes. The importance of the police budget is right built within the role play to give you that stress, to give you that high, to give you that low, and understand the ability of role play that you've never seen before in the entire 5M ecosystem.
Whoa, Chip! I've never seen anything like that before.
It was some random idea that kind of just took on some wings, Tony, and we have built this entire system, and it's working flawlessly. The other additions to the police is that we are now working in tandem with whoever owns the impound business because we can now place wheel locks on illegally parked cars if they have been illegally parked for multiple days, Tony. Not only that, we can actually slap parking tickets on top of a windshield if there's an illegally parked vehicle. We no longer have to fully impound it. That car will be there until it gets towed away by the civilian impound business. And therefore, nobody really can yell at the police because you were illegally parked and it's clearly right there, Tony. So you need to go argue with those civilian impounders and get your vehicle back.
How about that, Chip? That's unbelievable. I can't wait to get in and start heisting and looting and shooting and RPing.
We can't wait for you to get in there and RP within the new Lincoln Roleplay ecosystem. We believe that we have many, many issues solved, but we are still here to hear your feedback. We hope that you enjoy Lincoln Roleplay 2.0.
This is a video of the dev release of 2.0.